Howdy, I'm excited to get into chapter 4 with you today. Here we start to really look at how firms start to develop and use strategies to seek customers, to satisfy customers, and ultimately to succeed in the marketplace. So I want to start off with a couple of examples of different business level strategies. And I'm using the example of a haircut. Now, if I were to ask you how much a haircut should cost, I would likely get some people who would say around $10, some might say 20 or 30, some might say 50 or more. Well, why do these differences exist? Well, part of it is that we all have different expectations. So for one example, we could look at SmartStyle right inside Walmart, where someone can go and get a haircut fairly quickly, fairly cheaply, but you're not going to get a lot of personalized attention. In fact, you even have others who have created their own businesses supposedly to help those who went to SmartStyle or similar places and maybe didn't get the highest quality. Now compare that to G. Michael's Salon, a very fancy place where someone might spend a lot of money. Well, what kind of an experience are you going to have here? How is it going to be different? You're likely to spend more time. You're likely to receive very personalized care. You might even be given something to eat or drink while you're there. Obviously, the level of service is very different, and therefore, what people would be willing to pay would be very different. So a business level strategy is an integrated and coordinated set of commitments and actions the firm uses to gain a competitive advantage by exploiting core competencies in a specific product market. Now, if we look at different product markets, we can see here a Lexus SUV or a Toyota Sienna minivan or a Toyota Yaris, a little compact car, all made by the Toyota company, and yet these are different product markets with different competition. And each of these takes a different set of competencies and capabilities to produce and to use. So by selecting and implementing one or more strategies, firms seek to gain strategic competitiveness and earn above average returns. Now, these strategies are purposeful. G. Michael Salon did not stumble into a high-end salon providing experience. They chose to provide the highest level of care compared to SmartStyle, who chose to provide a quick, cheap, easy option. So these are purposeful decisions. They develop before firms engage rivals in marketplace competitions, and they demonstrate a shared understanding of the firm's vision and mission. A strategy should consider a firm's external and internal environments and leverage resources, capabilities, and competencies with opportunities in the external environment. So firms can strengthen their relationships with customers by delivering superior value to them. And it's important for firms to build a relationship with their customers so that they understand what those customers need. The most successful companies try to find new ways to satisfy current customers and also to meet the demands of new customers. When we're looking at business level strategy, there are three primary questions that we're going to look at. First of all, who will be served? Who's the target market? What's unique about them? And then we can start to understand what needs will be satisfied. What do these particular customers want? And ultimately, then we come to the question of how will those needs be satisfied? To go back to the example of some Toyota vehicles, we can look at the minivan, the Sienna. So who will be served? This is a product that is designed and geared toward families with children. What needs will be satisfied? A lot of seating, good cargo space, efficient vehicles, easy to drive, even little details like the design of the rear view mirror that allows you to see all of your children in the back seat. These things are designed these are needs to be satisfied, and these are satisfied by designing and producing this particular vehicle. We might also look at the Toyota Yaris. So who's to be served here? This is likely to be someone who is eco-conscious Maybe someone who is on a budget or doesn't want to spend a lot of money on gasoline. This might be someone with a small parking space at their home. So what needs will be satisfied? Well, a small vehicle for one, high efficiency. But there are other needs that are simply not met, such as a lot of cargo space or seating. So how will these needs be satisfied? A different vehicle is designed. A different strategy is employed to provide the Toyota Yaris than the Sienna. So when we look at who to serve, one of the things that we'll consider is market segmentation. Are we looking at all customers? Are we looking at consumer markets or industrial markets? These things will change what types of strategies should be pursued. So with consumer markets, we may look at demographics, socioeconomic factors, geographic factors, psychological factors, consumption patterns. What kind of things do people like to buy and use? Or how do they perceive? This may come down to branding. What kind of perception do they have or do they want? Then we may look at industrial markets. Who's the end use segment? If you are producing inputs that are not actually finished goods, what are those inputs going into? What type of customers do those buyers have, those other manufacturers have? What kind of product segments or geographic segments? What kind of buying factor segments might there be? For example, you might provide steel that could be used in silverware or could be used in manufacturing automobiles. You might have a leather manufacturer that sells leather that could be used in basketballs or purses or boots. All of these things will determine the type and of product and how that should be provided. We might also look at customer size segments. Some provide only to small companies or to very large companies, or perhaps some to a mix. Now we do consider what needs should be satisfied. So close interactions with customers can help a firm identify the targeted customer group's current and future needs that its products can satisfy. In a general sense, the needs or what is actually being done would be related to a product's benefits and features. Customer needs are neither right nor wrong, good nor bad, and successful firms learn how to deliver what customers want when they want it, and also recognize that consumer needs can change. So a firm must determine how to use its core competencies in order to implement value-creating strategies and develop new products. We can see that innovation capabilities help a company like Pfizer develop new products, vaccines, or even disease tests, virus tests. Verizon's cell towers provide a superior network on average that covers a greater area than some of the other carriers. So customer expectations can be met and exceeded across time by only those firms with the capacity to improve consistently, innovate, and upgrade their competencies. So we may look at different types of competitive advantage. Down here at the bottom, we have a quarter pounder from McDonald's. So one thing that McDonald's seeks to do is to achieve a lower overall cost compared to rivals. And though to do this, they perform activities differently, reducing process costs, ultimately leading to a low cost item. On the right, we have a burger from Five Guys. So some companies possess the capability to differentiate the product or service and command a premium price. What they are doing is performing different or more highly valued activities that allow them to customize and to improve quality. So I want you, for your first question, to describe the process and ingredient differences between the McDonald's quarter pounder and a burger from Five Guys.